All right, welcome back, everybody, to episode 10. That's right, we made it to episode 10 of Pontiac Power Hour, and today we are on Punisher Le Mans Garage page. I am Buff from Buff's Garage.
I'm Ray from Punisher Le Mans Garage, I think.
I think so. So if you found your way here, thanks for dropping in. Let's see who all's in the chat today. Well, we know Colleen stuck her head in the door really early, so hello to her.
Yeah, she got the first spot.
Yeah, Hunter from SandMountainBallistics made it in. He's our regular on here. You got the Mr. Polo C4. We know who that is. We've got Leighton Welding in the house. ASO is here. And Rob Rod Streetcars. Pure Pontiac Garage. Dr. Art Hot Rod Garage. We got Lars, people. Lars is in the house. And, there's Jay, Irish Outlaw. Jay's feeling under the weather, but we're glad you're here, buddy.
It's been a rough week for a lot of people, I think.
Yeah, it really has. Alan's Cars and Stuff. And we'll catch back up as everybody keeps rolling in. But, yeah, what a week, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough. I must say, I really like that name, Pure Pontiac Garage. That's just pretty cool. I mean, it's fitting for our show, too, so.
I agree. I definitely think it fits us well. Let's see. Well, we've got, all kinds of things going on. I got to be honest with you guys. We've got some things coming down for the future that I'm not going to share with you just yet because, nothing's 100%. But I think we've got some pretty fun guests coming for the future of our show. And it's all for you guys. It's not for us. Yeah, we always want to build our subs. And, man, Ray you're close. You got, what, 905 now?
Yeah, 905. It's getting there.
Yep. So obviously, you're on his channel. Make sure you're subbed to him. If not, go down and click the sub, hit the notification bell. Make sure you're catching everything. And you know what? If you like what you're seeing, hit the share. Share it out there. We're getting quite a few viewers every single week on our show. We love that. So thank you guys for coming back.
Yeah, I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Everybody coming in, popping in. It's real awesome. I love seeing that viewer count. Dr. Art, it's Holly, buddy.
LS says it's Holly. Yep. Yeah, I went the cheap route, and my LS has the original stock GM computer that has a $75 tune on it. So it's nothing too extravagant. If I were to update the cam or, add boost or anything like that, we could definitely do something more.
Thank you, Leighton. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if you haven't hit the like, get in there and do that. There you go. Got a little scrolling banner for you.
Yeah, you're just like a magician, man.
Yeah, I've got the magic wand.
If I tried to do that, I would probably crash the whole show. I'm just saying.
I'm thinking the whole internet would crash, and you'd have to call up Elon and be like, hey, let's Twitter this and fix it.
Yeah. He had to do it himself. He fired everybody.
Well, sometimes you got to do it yourself. Tell you, that's how Apple was successful, is the guy in charge was just like, just let me do it. Get out of the way. But anyway, we brought you here tonight for episode 10. Like, how did we get here? Episode 10.
I don't know. It's just kind of a brainstorm idea in my garage, and then boom, here we are. 10 episodes later. People still want to watch us. It's amazing.
That's right. Well, we got Pontiacs. I don't care what they're powered by. We got Pontiacs. And we got a huge audience that loves them. So, all right, guys. We brought a special guest in tonight. We had lots of people to choose from, and I'm not even kidding. We had some bigger names. Some of them were tied up with SEMA this week, so the logistics didn't work out. So you can think about how big was the name that they're at SEMA right now. So we did have some bigger stuff, but we want to give back at this point. We love No Name Nationals. There is no doubt about that. And I mean, Ray and I are both signed up, ready to go for next year.
Yes, sir.
Out of every other event, we're going to No Name Nationals. I don't care if I have to walk there because all my trailer tires broke. I will get there. But anyway, I want to say we are thankful for everyone that comes in and watches us. We're thankful for our channel growth. We love the No Name family, and we want to help see it grow. So No Name 2023 is coming, and we have a lot of up-and-coming channels that are simply, looking to build up their subs, just like we did to get to No Name Nationals. We got a whole new class for 2023 that wants to graduate and go to No Name Nationals. And one of our most consistent and supportive, I guess, fans, watchers, is ready to put his hat in the ring, join the No Name Nationals family full time, and get his channel going. So I'm going to just say, without further ado, I'm going to introduce somebody who has an awesome Pontiac. In fact, I'm going to throw a picture up right now. Look at that.
I think you're kind of biased.
I mean, how many cross ram Pontiacs do you see?
Probably not very many.
No. All right. So everybody, welcome to the chat. We got Hunter from SandMountainBallistics.
How's it going, guys?
Welcome, Hunter. Well, we are so glad to finally get you on the screen because we always got you in the chat. Oh, yeah. Especially if we talk, concept cars. But we're glad to get you in here. Oh, look at this right here. John Wilburn's looking for new freshmen. Date announcement soon. If that doesn't get you to pucker, I don't know what will. Oh, do we know this guy? Dakota's Time Out?
I don't know that guy. Nope.
I think so. Is he related to Dakota's Time In?
He might be. I mean, he's got a lot of accounts out here.
Hey, Ray, Leighton Welding says, if we're not busy afterwards, come hang out on the live. He's going to be talking about his laser welder. All right. So when we're done, head on over to Leighton Welding and check out the laser welder. That sounds pretty cool. Now, Hunter, you are not new to the No Name family, but you're new to actually saying, I'm going to put a channel together and get the subs.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So tell us what you're talking about on your channel.
Mainly just my 1963 Pontiac Star Chief.
And for those that missed that, I'm going to add it back in there. Look at that, guys.
Yeah, look at the beauty.
That is gorgeous. It's definitely shinier than mine.
Did you take the 8-lug wheels off?
Actually, that's an older picture. That's from like 2017. I put the 8 lugs on it. I took them dang wheels off. Like when you hit a bump in like a parking lot or something, they'd actually scrub in the fender wells. And those are just like 15-inch wheels. They're like 195s.
I say, yeah. I just love the 8-lug wheels.
Oh, me too, man.
Well, we might maybe have some photos of stuff like that later. So we'll talk about it in a bit. I want to remind everybody that we are still sponsored by Super Clean. There was a little bit of time there that I was in flux with trying to get a hold of their representative, and I didn't want to put their name out there and promise something that I couldn't, back up. But we are still sponsored by Super Clean, and tonight our special guest Hunter will be receiving a gift pack from Super Clean, and we appreciate him being on the show.
All right. Thanks for
All right.
having me.
Yeah, not a problem. So tell me all about the Star Chief, because I've got to hear more probably than most, but I know our audience wants to hear about it.
Well, it started life as your regular old base model AC car with 2-barrel and all that.
And
then,
what year is it?
1963.
Right, that's a good year.
Oh yeah. And well, I went through and rebuilt the engine. It had like 86,000 miles on it, and put that cross ram on there. Had a custom ground Isky cam, 224 with 465 lift, with Rhodes lifters, and then had a windage tray. I ported the heads and had 192 intake valves fitted in there, because it's the biggest valve you can fit in the older model style heads. I got them long branch manifolds on it. It should be about a 400 horsepower engine. And then I got that original 4-speed Hydromatic transmission behind it. I got those 8-lug wheels on it, of course.
That's
what size engine is it? Is it 428?
It's a 389.
389.
Yeah. In 63, you could only get the 389 and the 421 in those cars. Unless.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. If you were in Canada, you could get like a dang straight 6 and a Chevy 283, which that's not my cup of tea. Not in a Pontiac.
I think what you're doing is, of course, everything I wish I could have done to mine.
Yeah.
But time, money, and parts availability, we threw together some garbage and made it less garbagey.
Well,
you have a pristine vehicle with the right stuff, and you're doing it right. And it just and guys, check out in the link in the chat. Go sub to Hunter. He's got all kinds of car stuff he's putting up, and he's doing more all the time. Check out that car. I mean, it's cross ram. That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
So what size carburetors is on it?
They're 2 600 CFM Edelbrocks.
Ooh, that's a lot of fuel for that little 389.
Yeah, I hadn't even jetted them down yet, but they seem to be doing good. I've been driving it to work and back, and the plugs have been doing pretty good. I think I need a little bit of a smaller primary jet, and I might have to fool with the metering rods, but I'm going to let it get broke in first before I go, too in depth with it, because it's really close as it is. And see that intake, this guy had bought it new, and he bought his name was Jim. He bought a 1962 Pontiac Catalina Super Duty from Seltzer Pontiac, and he bought that intake brand new in 1962 for that car, and actually raced that intake on that car. And then later he put it on a GTO with it was like a 468 stroker, and well, he took that off that car, and eventually it passed away, right? And this guy in his same town just so happened to buy all his stuff, and he didn't know what a Mickey Thompson cross ram was. So I shoot him a message, and I say, how much you want for that, buddy? And he's like, well, he told me the price, and well, next thing you know, it's showing up at my doorstep.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I think it's even got the factory-sized jets in it. I know it's got the factory-sized metering rods, because the guy had the carbs built for that GTO, but I don't think he really had much done to it.
I mean, it's a big car with a lot of, weight to it. And now you've got some significant power to back it up.
Oh, yeah.
So are you planning on bringing the Star Chief to No Name Nationals?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, what else would I bring? I wouldn't bring my little Toyota Prius now, would I?
Hey, we welcome all cars. No Name Nationals was not about the cars, how fast you were. It wasn't about who's got the biggest channel. It was just about celebrating each other. We all have kindred spirits. We all had to pass the test to get in. No doubt there was some ridiculously fast cars there. But then there were cars that, I don't know, either made it on the track but barely made it off, or didn't make it on the track at all. But we didn't care.
Right.
It was a fun time. So I can't wait to see it. I think with the mods you've made, that car's going to scream pretty good.
I hope so.
I don't know how to give people a blue wrench. I was trying.
It's all right. So you have to do it on your YouTube side,
Oh,
and you have
yeah.
to hit the I got to hit the 3 dots, and don't worry about it today.
If I tried that, I'd crash the show again.
And that only happened once.
I know. I don't want it to do it again.
All right, Dakota's talking some smack here.
Oh, let's see what he's talking smack about. Let's see.
Yeah,
Let me get into the chat here.
He could whoop him with 4 plug wires disconnected.
Yeah, I'd like to see you try, Bub. I pretty much got 2 4-cylinders under the hood.
Dakota's got a little bit of a weight advantage on you. I don't know what that Star Chief weighs, but I imagine it's more than my Yukon.
They claim on the internet, I haven't had it weighed, they say that they weigh 3,800 pounds. Now, that's a big debate, but that's just what, people say.
All right, John Wilburn's calling you guys out to call each other out. So I don't know if Dakota's going to, jump in with both feet like you're doing, but you boys need to get your subs up and come play at No Name for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons we got Hunter on here is we want to see the new channels come up and join us in No Name. Of course, being another awesome Pontiac guy who actually knows probably more than I do about Pontiacs. We want to see him come out and play. It's really not that far for you either, is it? If assuming not knowing where we're having it, but like if it were in Sykeston, it wasn't that far.
I forget. I think it's like a 4 or 5 hour drive. I think.
Oh, yeah. I definitely got you beat on that one.
Where are you at, Hunter?
Trenton, Georgia. You know where like Chattanooga, Tennessee is?
Yeah.
It's kind of in that area. I'm really close to there. I'm probably about 45 minutes from there, depending on traffic.
Well, thank you, Pure Pontiac Garage. We appreciate you too. Pontiac Power does rule. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to not have an LS, but who's got a 389 or 421 they want to just kind of give me because I'm broke.
My only problem is my car makes like almost 700 horse at the wheels, so I'm going to need Butler to donate a really big donation for me.
So that's with 1 turbo.
Yeah.
What do you think your setup would do with a second one?
I don't know.
At least another 100?
I think I could get 1,000 out of it if I had a better. I need bigger injectors and more fuel.
Right, more fuel. Right. So
my duty cycle on my injectors is 99%. So
remember the setup I was talking about, completely hidden.
Mm-hmm.
You look into under the hood and you don't see anything, but you put it up on the lift and you got 2 big old, windmills underneath the car. I thought that would be kind of cool.
Look who showed up.
Oh, my Lord. It's the Pole Barn Garage Holy Goat King himself.
Dalton, I'm going to need that white van you just picked up, brother. That thing is cool.
We need to, I know it's got Ludwig on the side of that van, but we need to come back and paint Candy with a K on the side. and free candy.
The kids would have to jump though. That thing sets up pretty high.
Yeah. I love it. 4-wheel drive, and he's putting a 454 in it. Anyway. Yeah.
Only way it could get better if it was poncho powered, right?
He happens to have one sitting there.
He has a couple.
It's not that he couldn't do that, but 454 for being a tow rig would just be perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Dalton, I'm not scared to get in your van, buddy. I rode in the Holy Goat. I'm just saying.
You might have to help him look for his puppy.
Dakota's brother, what become of the parts car you guys have in the backyard?
That's going to be one of my next projects. I'm going to build that one too. I thought about like putting a fiberglass front end on it. So they reproduce all that stuff. They would make like a fiberglass bumpers, fiberglass deck lid, all that stuff. Even a hood. It's just not cheap, but
Right.
What's your parts car?
It's a 63 Pontiac Star Chief, but this one's a Vista, so it don't have like the posts. So like when you roll down the windows,
it's
there's
all
nothing
open,
there. Yeah.
like mine.
Mm-hmm. Only thing with it is, a lot of people say it's too rotten to fix, but the frame on it's solid. The only like the back quarter panels are rotten, and the trunk gutters and the trunk pan. That's really about the only rust in that car, because it sat in the woods since the '80s, and a buddy of mine and a couple hours from here had it, and he wasn't doing nothing with it. So I was like, "Look, man, you need to sell that to me."
Man, how do you guys keep finding these freaking Pontiacs in the woods?
I'm telling you, it already sounds better than mine. It's got more metal in it than mine does.
Well, heck, I got that one running, and it smoked like a tire kettle. I was like, well, maybe it'll clear up. So I fed it the berry meds and stuff, and I done a compression test, and cylinder 8 was dead. So I just ended up pulling the head on it, and there's this big old hole in the piston.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But for whatever reason, the valve wasn't smashed. So, and then that same guy,
Yeah.
I got another 389 off him out of his wagon, and I put it in and got it running. So it's running and driving. I just can't stop because I hadn't put any brakes into it yet.
That hole in the piston, the hole in the piston is just for better airflow. So it's fine.
It's crankcase ventilation.
Yeah, that's what it is. That way that it keeps the oil fresh. It used a quart of oil in about 15 minutes. So
John's van is creepier for sure. The Uncle Eddie van's pretty awesome, I think. It doesn't have that off-road feel to it, but if he does take it off-road, you're probably never going to see daylight again.
So if Dalton brings that van to the No Name Nationals next year, because it was all Dodge vans there this year. Well, there was that Ford van, but I'm just saying, Dalton, maybe run the van next year.
I mean, I'm sure if he brought it, it could go down the track, but he's not a pull his car to the track kind of guy. So if he doesn't need the tow rig, right? Because if I catch him pulling something, I'm going to have to give him some crap about it. But wouldn't that be cool if he actually did pull one of his vehicles with the van, get there, he can live in the freaking van the whole time he's there, and he's still got a race car, then he could race the van.
So you'll get to see his Le Mans when you go up there. Dalton has a really sweet Le Mans. It's gold. It's got a 455 in it.
I've seen it in the background. He wants to autocross it, but all right. All right, Hunter. So I got to see you testing out your exhaust system.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, of course, my favorite was no exhaust at all, but we all know that even after time, that gets too obnoxious to drive around. But what do you have in store for your channel? Like, what are we going to see coming up?
Probably me, finish my car, maybe, take it on a few pulls with the speedometer, in Mexico, of course, right?
Mexico, yep.
Just kind of finish it up, and then I thought it'd be cool to, maybe do my Mustang too as a project, and do some videos on it, just kind of fixing it up.
Like,
awesome.
Pontiac swap Mustang or Coyote something.
Probably won't touch it. It's got a 302 in it that's been built. It's got a big old crane cam in it.
Oh, just run it till it blows then.
Yeah, it's
been rebuilt. A Pontiac.
That sounds like
Mustang.
A burnout car.
It would make a dang good one.
Mustang would be a cool burnout car. Short wheelbase, plenty of power. Just spin it up in the Destroyer 1320, I assume, sponsored. I can't imagine he wouldn't come back because that was just too awesome. Oh, look at this. Sorry to derail, but he's going to pull the van with the goat. Now, I'm pretty sure that's possible. I think he could do that.
Well, if anyone was going to do it, it would be Dalton. I mean, he does some pretty funny stuff.
Yeah, nobody has a free 389, and even if they did, the parts to rebuild it, I could buy 2, 3, 4 more cars. So,
yeah,
I don't hate on the Pontiac engine. I'm just poor. I don't have any money.
I was
So buy
given
more merch, guys. Buy merch and help me build a car.
I have a 400 I was given, but I just haven't went and got it yet. The problem is he thinks it's locked up and it's out of a like 80s or a late 70s, so be a smog motor. It's basically starting
But
to lock.
what's the price?
Free.
Now, see, I'll take a free motor any day, even if it's locked up, because at that point, you got nothing in it. So anything you do is a win.
True.
That's how I ended up with an LS in a Pontiac Grand Prix. It was free.
Hey, I actually made money with my LS because I bought a rolled over Yukon. I sold all the parts off of it and ended up with a free engine. So, I mean.
So, I've told you about my Trans Am is getting the suspension and drivetrain from my donor Suburban. And before everybody hates me in the chat, just it's a third gen Trans Am. They weren't all original Pontiac anyway. They use Chevy stuff, and I'm doing something stupid because Buff's Garage. That's what I do. So by the time I've used the engine out of it, I'm pulling the drivetrain front to back out of it. I'm probably going to use the seats. They're all the fancy leather seats and stuff. I'm probably use those in my tow Bourbon, which is a old body style Suburban. And I still have parts that'll fit on my Avalanche on that Suburban. And then anything I sell left, I'm ahead. So I'm right there with you. Buy the GMT 800, which is the newer-ish Chevy truck, Suburban, Tahoe, whatever. Rob it of all of its parts, sell what's left, and make money.
Travis
right.
Mokmore says, wait and see what he's bringing.
I can't wait, Travis.
All right. So B&R says the Pontiac V8 doesn't cost any more than any other engines to build stock.
I would just tell you the parts that I looked up, it was more expensive and harder to find. Add in the fact that I couldn't even find an engine to build. And I can find a 350 or even, of course, an LS laying everywhere. Everyone's got one, and they're all cheap. You can go in and buy what is a water pump for $16, $20. You can, get some aftermarket heads, any kind. You can get them good, crappy, Chinese, whatever. I mean, there's just so many options where the Pontiac kind of get pigeonholed into a certain area.
I think the deal with Pontiac is where you run into a bunch of money is most of them did not come with great heads to start with. I mean, the 6X is even decent, but they're not good. So you're either going to have to find some old, performance heads or buy some aftermarket ones. Either way, I mean, you're starting to get into a lot of money right off the bat.
Yeah. And I don't hate on Pontiac at all. I just didn't have it available at the time. Here we go.
Yeah, but that's no fun, Dalton.
Dalton knows the budget rebuild. The man knows how to budget rebuild. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, to build like a regular Pontiac engine, you're gonna have about $3 to $5 grand in it. It just depends. Like you're probably gonna have to have your heads reworked. I mean, they're just not cheap to build, but I mean they're good engines. But yeah, I get what y'all are saying about that. But
right,
yeah.
I would love to if I could find a 455 to build to put in my car. I would do that. My problem is everybody wants a freaking fortune for them nowadays.
mm-hmm.
Every 455 is worth $1,500 no matter what shape it's in. So
and if that's your goal, to get a decent one for $1,500 and you had everything lined out, it would be worth it. And when you pop the hood, you got a legit thing going for you. But everybody pops the hood and sees the LS and they either love it or hate it.
most hate it.
Personally, they do. And you know what? Next year, when I got all my stuff figured out and I run my Pontiac down the drag strip, maybe with a little bit of help from a guy who knows how to do a turbo, we might even get the RPM up a little on it. I don't think anybody's going to talk smack on it after that.
Maybe you and Hunter could line up.
Oh yeah, we could.
Oh, 63 against a 63.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go ahead and put that down on paper. Let's make that happen.
What's the difference between the Star Chief and the Grand Prix? Because they look similar.
I mean, there's a lot of differences. Like
Grand Prix is awesome.
Well, I mean, it's a cool car. Don't get me wrong. I like the Grand Prix. They're one of my favorite models. It's 1963, but like they come with the Slim Jim transmission, which is a 3-speed instead of like mine come with a dang 4-speed automatic. But you know, they come with they call them the Slim Jim, which they're good transmissions from what I hear, but people say they just start leaking and they clunk around when they shift. I don't know. I've never personally owned one, but I can tell you that the 4-speed's a better transmission from what I've read.
I can tell you I have never owned one either. And the space that's left in the floor pan for that transmission has to get a little tappy tap to fit even the TH350, which was obviously the smaller option. And I didn't want to do any mods to the floor, but to get it sucked up high enough into the car so that I could lower the car down, we had to do a little adjustment on the floor pan.
Well, what's also strange about the Slim Jim is I've actually had to take one off of a motor when my buddy did, and they actually have a dang flywheel, like a straight shift transmission. Like he told me that you could be going about 20 miles down the road and you'd cut it off and turn the key back on, and you'd hear it kind of spool up for a second and it'd crank the car right back up.
Wow. Pole Barn says the old Slim Jim's garbage. I have no doubt. My car was built as a cruiser, and I'm not going to say a little old lady drove it, but there was a lot of stuff left over that was definitely from a small, probably female human that drove it. And it was fully loaded, had all the options, stuff that other guys with Pontiacs don't have. And I'm going, I'd probably sell it because there's a lot of stuff that I don't really need off the car. But. All right, B&R's got our history for us. The Grand Prix is Catalina frame, but the Grand Prix is fully boxed. Yep, that is true. And basically it's a convertible frame plus more. They didn't make a convertible, but it is a stout car, which is why I knew it would handle whatever I put through at it.
Another, difference between like the Star Chiefs and the Grand Prix is that they're on a different wheelbase. The Star Chief's actually on a bigger wheelbase than the Grand Prix is.
It's more of a grand car than my little Grand Prix. My Grand Prix was the stripped down version. Yes, it still had some luxury items, but it was not the luxury that the Star Chief was. The Grand Prix was supposed to be that streamlined version that we then later saw popular in a GTO.
Mm-hmm.
The front end looks a lot alike on the Grand Prix and that Star Chief. So
right, just he's got the big old fog lights. I don't have that. I thought about putting some in it. I've always liked those grills.
Yep. I can tell you this, they're almost impossible to find the little plastic pieces on the lens, and mine are completely cracked to where when we took them apart to clean them, we were losing little bits of the plastic. So after it was clean, I just globbed a bunch of clear silicone in there to hold it all together, put new bulbs in, threw it back together, and hopefully it never has to come apart again.
Hey, whatever works, man. I bet Dalton has a trick up his sleeve for something like that.
Oh, well, probably some sheet metal screws.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with sheet metal screws.
I know. I took some out of your trunk to.
Ray goes, this was at No Name. Ray goes, hey, do you got any sheet metal screws? And I said, I think so. And I looked and I couldn't find my small little tub of sheet metal screws. And I said, you know what? that trunk over there is just held together with sheet metal screws. Take as many as you want.
I just had to add a few covers to maybe hide something that tech wouldn't catch. So
some tech related coverage.
I spotted it last minute and it was too late to fix it, so I hid it.
So are they like real picky about tech? Like
They want
are they
Dalton got
sticklers?
to run down the track, so
Well, I got a little confidence then. See, one of my main issues is seat belts right now. And
I didn't have that, and I meant to have it for the event, and I literally left 1 hour with 1 hour's sleep. I just forgot to grab them. So my car had provisions for seat belts, but the seat belts were long gone. And I figured I've got lat belts laying around. I can use those.
when a ratchet strap would work, right?
Bolted down, I'm sure we'd count, but we did get warned. John said tech's going to be a little more difficult this time.
Okay, so make my car so nice that they can't pick at anything. Gotcha.
Yeah, when they look at it and they're just like, ooh, then you're like, yep, here's your $20. Go away. Hey, Mohawk's in the house. I didn't see where's that. And Ed's Machine's in the house. Hello, Ed. Yeah, Pole Barn says if he doesn't have some self-tappers and some metal tape, he's lost. All right, Shop Cat, what do you got? Strato Chief. I'm going to say it wrong. Laurentina, I think.
Yeah.
All right, and what's the next one?
Parasine.
Yeah.
Okay, 2+2 and Pala frames and running gear up in Canada. Are you under snow, Shop Cat? Because I'm just not ready for that yet.
Those cars look funky, man. They're like even shorter than the American cars because they had to, put them on the Impala wheelbase. Like if you look at the very back, like right behind the door, like they had to take about an inch or two out of it. It just looks funky. Once you notice it, if you see a Canadian one, you're like, "What the heck is this?"
The Beaumont, is that what it's called? Beaumont.
I think the Beaumont was. I want to say it's like a Tempest. I think.
Tempest. Okay.
It's like their version of the Tempest. I think. I could be wrong. I'm not Canadian, so.
We've got Canadians in our chat. We kind of got people from all over the world that come in. Here's what I'll say. We've talked about doing a show on kind of the obscure ones. And nothing against Canadian Pontiac, but there's some stuff there that we might want to do a show on.
Hey, they had a big block Pontiac.
Oh, I've seen that.
It may have been a Chevrolet, but it was still in a Pontiac. So they're
cool. There you go.
I honestly feel sorry for those guys. They had to put up with a big old car like mine with a straight six in it. That's just sad. Like, I honestly feel sorry for y'all guys having to put up with that.
Dalton says there's other countries. No, no, there is not.
There's Australia. They have Pontiacs.
So I'll say this. Yeah, Holden Sour Hour. So if you go back and watch our next episode for Hunter, I updated the title with the hashtag Holden Sour Hour.
Oh boy.
All right, so where are we at? We're at 8:40. I did something unique, and I had our guest, Hunter, completely supply us, since he gives us so much crap in the chat about our trivia. Hunter supplied us with the trivia this week. So, Hunter, you got to let everybody else answer. You can't answer this time.
Dang. I had to one up on him this time.
Because you would actually, you always do well, but you're going to have to let them actually participate. So the entire trivia this week was created and submitted by Hunter from SandMountainBallistics. So make sure you go out and find his page. In fact, you know what? a second here. Well, you'll have to do it because it's on your page, Ray. But I do have him up in the chat there. I'll just repost it. Let me find it.
Shopcat said it was pronounced Beaumont.
Beaumont.
It was basically a Chevelle with a split grille, and the Acadian was the Pontiac Nova.
Okay, not a Beaumont, a Beaumont.
Well, I mean, if y'all guys want to name them stupid names, we'd be able to pronounce them, right?
Now, don't be making our Canadians mad. We need them too.
Well, it wasn't him specifically, so.
Yep, as Dalton said, get in there and hit the like. We've got, how many do we got in here? We've got 20 in the chat, so make sure you hit that like, subscribe, keep following us. Like I said before, we are going to keep with the guests. We're going to keep with the history and the trivia. We've got some big guys on the horizon. We've already had some big channels like Dalton's on here. So thank you guys for jumping in and keeping this program alive.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody.
So did we do that cross ram already?
You showed like a video of it.
Oh yeah, let's just do that again. I mean, how cool is that?
Is it open manifold?
And that time in the video, that was just, I had some 2.5-inch pipe that I just welded on there. It was open manifold at first, and I drove it, and I was like, no, I'm not doing this. And then I've had some pipes laying around. So, I throw them on there. It's like, okay, it sounds pretty good at idle, Drove it down the road, and I was like, okay, this is horse crap. I'm not dealing with this. And I went and dug a set of mufflers out and welded some Flowmasters on there. And now I'm to the point, it's kind of okay, but I want to have it professionally done because I only had enough to, run them where the mufflers, they don't have no pipe coming out of them. So when you're inside the car, it sounds like you hear everything vibrating and all that, It's just extremely loud in the car. But outside the car, I don't think it's too loud.
All right. Well, go check out his channel. He's got that stuff out there. Give him that sub. Give him a like. Throw some comments down below so you make sure you stay subbed. And we're going to see more on that car in the future because we're going to see it at No Name Nationals. It's going to happen. Danny Boyd came in. And the only Pontiac I ever owned was the Iron Dork.
Was it a Fiero, I guess, or a Firebird?
Beaumont.
323.
We got Chris
good
in the
evening,
chat.
Chris.
He just kind of strolled in whenever.
I know, he's hiding on us.
That's all right. He's a Pontiac Power Hour alumnist.
Chris just finished up a pretty wicked Pontiac too, I must say.
Yeah, we're going to have him back later and talk about some of the projects he's working on. But in the meantime, let's take a minute to do this. Boom. Look at that, guys. It's almost like I'm getting good at this. All right, so we have entered the Pontiac trivia time frame. Hopefully we get through all of it before the end of the hour. Like I said, this was all brought to us from Hunter from SandMountainBallistics, who is our special guest today. It is sponsored by Super Clean. Hunter is going to be getting a Super Clean gift pack sent directly to his doorstep. And we appreciate Super Clean for all they're doing for us. Now, Hunter, do not answer the question until these guys get to it.
Okay, I'll try not to.
I picked the best ones I could find. You sent me a lot. I think there's going to be some interesting answers in here today. So let's get started.
Yeah.
I love this because we're talking 8-lug wheels earlier, and they are just some of my favorite as well. So I want to know, guys, in the chat, what year did Pontiac introduce the 8-lug wheel and bolt pattern? Was it A, 1952, B, 1956, C, 1960, or D, 1963? Ooh, Danny Boyd is on it. He says 63. Colleen says 1960. Dakota says 1960. Mohawk, 1960. Keep going, guys. We got another one for 1963. Now, these are those 8-lug wheels, not like what's on your Ford diesel truck. This is not that at all.
Yeah, these are the cool ones.
These are ones you don't see often enough. You know, I was on Facebook the other day, and I posted my car, and and thank you, Hunter, for that group, but it got like 70-some likes and so many comments on it. But one of the comments was just hilarious. He says, "Why did you convert it over from 8-lug?" I'm like, I didn't convert it. It never had 8-lug. It was factory 5-lug.
I said that, and I was thinking, is there something I don't know?
No. Oh, wow, that early, 1960s. Jay says 1952. All right, let's see what the answer is. 1960. So C was the correct answer. And there is a beautiful Pontiac with the 8-lug wheels.
That is a beautiful car.
Danny Boyd says it's basically hoops with lug hold tabs, and your brake drum is the center of the wheel. That is correct. It was a nice finned center brake there.
Yeah, I had to say cool.
And when they get stuck on, you're screwed.
Yep. All right, number 2. Still staying 8-lug. How many years did Pontiac utilize the 8-lug bolt pattern? Was it A, 6 years, B, 8 years, C, 10 years, or D, 12 years? Oh, Danny Boyd has a good question. Do you know the answer?
No, the spare, I don't think. I've never seen one that still had the 5-lug holes. You'd have to have a whole drum with it to be able to use it.
Got to pull the whole drum off to do it.
And then you'd have to readjust the brakes because they're different diameter almost. But you can still use the same setup, but that would take forever if you blew a tire.
Your tire change would not be a NASCAR style change there.
People are always asking me, "What the heck, Hunter? How many lug nuts do you need?"
All of them.
Yeah, all of them.
Yeah. All right, we're just all over the place. Let's just get to the answer. 8 years. So the answer was B, 8 years. And there is a beautiful specimen of that 8-lug rim from Pontiac Motor Division.
Danny Boyd. Yeah, so like the aluminum you see there, that's the actual brake drum. They got a steel liner in them. See, it's like 2-piece wheel almost. It's the way some people describe them, but
yeah, that's exactly right. It basically looks like a wheel hub or wheel rim, that bolts onto the brake hub drum. So your actual wheel is your brake drum.
And they had to be balanced on car, right?
Yeah, they had to balance them with the dang 8-lug, like the drums. They'd have to take the whole drum off and put them on the balancer. Now they make these plates that you can buy. They're CNC ported, and you bolt it on there, and it's got this adapter on it where you can use them on a modern style balancer. They're about $100 though, but it's a better way of doing it, if you ask me.
So I'll only argue this one and say my car is a full-size car. It was an original car. Nothing was changed. They removed the engine transmission, but nothing was changed on the car. And it was originally a 5-lug car. It was never an 8-lug car. So not to be completely against what's being said in the chat, but mine was never an 8-lug car in its factory.
Yeah, mine's a factory
full-size
505 car too. So, most of them didn't come with 8 lugs.
You swapped it. Right, you swapped them over.
Yeah, the car had like a tree or something that fell on it. It's like a 62 Catalina, and it was rotten. And this guy, he's got them off about like 10 years ago and just had them sitting in the shed. But he had to fight them to get them off. Like he ended up just getting lazy and pulled out the cutting torch and cut the whole spindles off.
Wow.
Which, I mean, they took me like 5 minutes to get off. Little PB blaster, and they slid right off.
Well, it's better than damaging those, So I can tell you that it was not original on mine. Or yours, apparently. All right, next question, guys. In 1959, Pontiac debuted the A body, but marketed the old marketing team at Pontiac, a special group. How did they market the new A body? Was it called the luxury class? That's A. Was B, the wide body? C, the poor man's Cadillac? Or D, the wide track?
Oh, I know this one.
Ha! Mohawk quick with the D. Wide track. Barrows, same. Uh-oh, Danny Boyd doesn't remember this one. Come on, Danny Boyd. You got this.
Is that because he was around and when that car was new, or?
No way.
Sorry, Dan, had to.
Irish says, Danny Boyd's sticking with B. Irish says wide track. Oh, yeah, Danny Boyd. He switched back. He's going with wide track. I got a little something special here. Whoops. Whoa, no. It went away.
White track and Pontiac. White track, white track, white track and Pontiac. White track, white track, white track and Pontiac. The great American sports.
It was the wide track. What'd you think of that song? That was pretty cool.
Oh, yeah, that's a good song. That's what I listen to when I'm cruising, when I can, step off the gas and actually hear what I'm thinking about.
Oh, yeah. They had the wide track advertised. That's right. So that's how they put those cars out, and they are quite a bit wider than your standard full-size car out there. All right, moving on. What year did Pontiac move the starters from the transmission bell housing to the engine block? So for you non-Pontiac guys in our chat, we love having you. This was something I had to learn when I started working on the old Pontiac, is that the starter's not on the engine block like we're all used to. It was on the bell housing for the transmission. So what year did they move it? Was it A, 1962, B, 1963, C, 1964, or D, 1965? Colleen was quick with an answer of C. Dan says A. Mohawk says C. Dakota says 65. Barrows says 63. And his Fords all had it mounted on the bell. I guess we get kind of spoiled with, the old short block Chevy stuff that I'm used to working on.
Yeah, until you have one, you pull that bolt accidentally completely out and the starter smacks you in the melon.
Oh, that's fun.
That's why you buy a mini starter. They're like 5 pounds, and you just reach up in there and put them in.
God, those are nice. Just
I bought one for my car. I'm not going to say who I bought it from for reasons, but the dang thing was a piece of junk. I put it in, right, and all it would do is click, click. So I took the shims out of it, and it's made just for my car. It don't even engage far enough. All it wants to do is it'll spin the motor over a little bit, but it wants to grind.
Yep.
That's their good Chinesium quality starters right there. So the original one's still kicking on it for now, till I find someone who actually knows how to make a good starter.
Well, let's see what the answer is. Looks like 1964.
I knew that one.
Apparently 63 had it one way and 64 decided we were going to move it. All right, let's get on to the next one. And remember, our guest created this trivia just for you guys. So make sure to thank Hunter and give him a subscription and a like. All right, so Hunter, How long is the bumper to bumper on your Pontiac Star Chief? Is
Well, I
it
can't.
A, 190 inches? Is it B, 210 inches? Is it C, long enough to land a helicopter on? Or D, 218 inches?
It'd be like a Navy ship.
I mean, basically,
Yes.
aircraft carrier.
You got
One of my
the
bo- Go ahead.
got the helipad on the trunk.
Like
One
that
of
big
my
old limo that existed that you could land on the back of the limo.
one of my buddies, he always calls mine a battleship. It's like you in your big old battleship.
Well, I can just tell you, if you get in an accident with a Prius, you're going to win.
Uh-huh. Won't even
Well,
dent my bumper.
so far, the winning answer is long enough to land a helicopter on it.
Oh, come on, guys, be serious.
A lot of C's and a lot of D's.
It's like my report card in high school.
Yeah. But the answer is D. Is that correct?
Yeah, for sure. Let me check.
218 inches.
Yeah,
That is a
that's
lot
right.
of car.
It's still long enough to land a helicopter on it, but it does measure up to 218 inches bumper to bumper.
That thing would
Fine.
not fit in my garage, I can guarantee you.
Well, you need a bigger garage, man.
I keep telling my wife that.
I had to park mine outside, man. I ain't got nowhere big enough to park it.
Well, that's all the trivia I threw in there, and that's good because we're close to time on our show today. We want to thank Hunter for coming in and building the trivia for us, and of course, Super Clean for sponsoring it. Yeah. So, Hunter, tell everybody about where to find you on social media, and that way we can get you some more subs. Like, what's your sub count out right now?
Last time I checked, it was like 68.
All right, 68 is just a few. Oh, look at that! I just updated you. 71. You have 71 now.
All right, that's pretty good.
I mean, that's a win.
Yeah.
Let me throw the link in the chat. Get out there and spread the word. Get Hunter to No Name Nationals 2023. Can they find you on social media elsewhere?
Yeah, they can find me on my Facebook. It's just my name, Hunter Bethune. So
All right.
If y'all want to friend me on there, y'all are welcome to.
And he's got all the ins and outs of where to go find the Pontiac stuff on Facebook. So if that's a platform you like to use, go find Hunter and he'll navigate you where you need to go.
That's where all the good deals are.
Yes. He's got the good stuff.
I'll say that I really do like seeing younger guys interested in old cars like that because there's not a lot of that anymore. Nobody wants the big stuff. Or really, though, honestly, I think the price of stuff keeps younger people from having, the old cool cars.
Well, I mean, they don't have to, buy an expensive, like buy a cheaper, base model car, stick it back, buy parts up for, I don't know, a couple of years, maybe 6 years or however long it takes. And then, pull it out and build it. That's, what I mean? That way it's not much money that way.
Yep, I agree. And that's the thing with mine is when I found the Pontiac in the hidden honey hole, it was basically going to go to scrap. The guy had been saving it because he thought it was something special, but it really wasn't his to save. He got it as a scrap car, and it would have definitely ended up going to the scrap soon because he's getting to where he's starting to kind of purge his honey hole. So if you guys saw anything on any of my honey hole videos that just sparked your interest, hit me up and I'll get you the guy's info. Make a trip to Kansas and buy you a scrap car for cheap and go out and build it.
How about that Torino? Wasn't that a Torino GT?
He is not ready to let that one go yet. I tried really hard. It's wrecked in the front, bent frame, but the car's there. And I'm thinking, I'll still make it run. All right, looks like you picked up some subs tonight. That's the whole point of bringing you on the show, get more people looking at you. bringing in Pontiac stuff because you are one of our top participants in our show every week. So thank you, Hunter, for coming.
Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. I want to thank Ray for hosting the show tonight on his channel. Make sure you guys are subbed to him. He's really close to 1,000, and we need to get him over that mark so we can be getting paid on both sides for the Pontiac Power Hour, because that monetization is going to start kicking in soon. But I think that's all I've got for tonight. I hope to see you guys next week for episode 11 of Pontiac Power Hour. So thank you guys for watching.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Thanks for the subs, guys. Y'all have a good night.